Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from AnthonysCustoms, and for this review we are looking at the new Marvel Legends Moon Knight figure, which is one I'm very excited about. I said when they very first showed it that looks like a pretty good figure, and it turns out that they delivered for the most part. There are a few things we need to talk about though, and there are some really good things that I think are going to make people happy. So let's go ahead and get this guy off the stand so we can take a closer look. This guy stands just about 17 centimeters, just shy. Probably about 16 3/4 centimeters, which makes him just about a little lower than 6 3/4 inches, so about 6 5/8. And the good thing about this guy is everything that you see on him that's colored is molded, except for a few details like in the hands or the face, or obviously the moon logo. Everything else is separate pieces glued on, so everything's really nice and clean. We have no issue with white paint other than, again, I'm not sure. I guess the hands are molded in black and then painted white, which is a little weird, but then the fingers look like they're molded in white, so I'm not sure. It looks good either way, it's fine. So that's really nice. We do have some accessories with this guy, which is really cool. We have 4 interchangeable hands, 2 gripping hands, and then 2 fist hands. Now the gripping hands are interesting because they have trigger fingers on them, and he has nothing like that. So I'm curious if they're going to try to reuse these hands for something in the future. We do have 1 large moon accessory and then 3 smaller ones. And then we do have the combining billy club, which we saw with Daredevil not too long ago. As far as the figure goes, the cape does peg into his back, which is a nice thing, but when you peg it into his back, it kind of sits funny in the front. It just kind of floats there and kind of blocks the face. So I prefer to just peg it out a little bit, and then it pretty much sits perfectly, so that'll be helpful. You could technically remove it if you wanted to, I'm assuming. Yeah, the head pops off, but the hood does not come off the head, so you probably don't want to do that. The head appears to be a Blizzard head that's been painted black and has the hood connected to it, which I'm okay with because it suits Moon Knight just fine. I really do like the sculpt of the cape and of the hood. It looks very, very nice. There is no shading on it though at all, which I think would have been cool. Not necessary, but it would have looked a little bit better, I think. You saw the head articulation. It'll lean back just fine. It'll lean forward just fine. And of course, it's on a ball peg, so you'll be able to move it around. So the hood will not inhibit that at all. For the shoulders, you might think they're limited because we have these shoulder pads glued on, but you can kind of just tuck them in, and you get really good range out of the shoulder, so that's awesome. Full rotation, of course. Bicep swivel's fine. Double jointed elbow. He's a little thick, so you're not going to get the best range out of that, but it'll work well enough. And then the wrists have a swivel and then a vertical hinge, which is unique, and I like that. Vertical hinges tend to be more useful than horizontal ones, so I'm glad that they implemented that. The chest piece does not impede the articulation too much at all. He leans forward really nicely, and he leans back pretty well too, so I'm very pleased with that. Only downside is he does look very plasticky. The black probably should have been more flat, and then just left this kind of stuff, the more satin finish, but it doesn't look terrible. I just wish he was less shiny. Waist twist is fine. It's hidden by these pieces right here, so that's pretty cool. The hips don't... Wow, that one doesn't want to work at all. This one goes about a little bit better than 45. I'm not sure why this one won't move. That's weird. You can see it's just not going. But they do have pretty good range, assuming this one works on everyone else's. And then going forward, it works just fine, no problems. Thigh swivels work nicely. Double jointed knee works just fine, so no problems there. No shin swivel on this guy, but we have a true ball hinge for the ankle, which will give you a perfect ankle rocker. Every figure should have a ball hinge ankle as far as I'm concerned. Really, really good range. It's definitely ideal to do that. I know it costs a lot more, and that's why Hasbro doesn't do it, and a lot of companies that are not making expensive figures don't put a ball hinge in there. But it's definitely the best in terms of functionality. It just does cost a lot more, so I totally get it. But it's just nice when it does happen, so I do like that a whole bunch. So this guy's really solid. It's actually fairly basic despite being a whole bunch of new parts, but I'm okay with it. I mean, it looks really good for what it is. It just could use a little bit of shading, but otherwise they pretty much nailed it. So very happy with this, and I think you guys will be too, so I definitely recommend it. I do believe it's still available in Big Bad Toy Store, so check the link in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you come back for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and in the meantime, keep collecting.